Hello 108 students, Mr. McHugh here with you. Welcome to section 2.7. We're going to work with absolute inequalities and we're going to tackle page 1 here on this video. And we are going to deal with the absolute value, and that's the idea that the distance, whether you're going east or west from Boise State, you have the same amount of distance. Okay, so what that means is either a positive value can go into the chamber or a negative value. And the absolute value signs are the two verticals, and I call them chambers. And what happens is, think about when you evaluate it, you drop the sides of the box. Think of a magic trick, and it always must come out a positive value. Okay, now this is your basic definition of absolute value. So you just have to remember that either a negative or a positive expression can go into the chamber, and what comes out after you evaluate it is always a positive. Okay, now, so I got 3 cases set up here, and just to get us going here with an equal sign, absolute value of x equals 4, what values would that be? You can either have a positive value, notice I use the parentheses as kind of an overkill, but you have a positive value of x or a negative value. Remember, you want to put the or here because it means both solutions must be considered. So evaluate this, x equals 4, or a negative x in front of it, x equals negative 4. Notice I switched the left side and right side because the equality that left side equals right side. Okay, if you were going to graph that, you'd put dots at negative 4, positive 4, and you'd be done. Now we're dealing with inequalities in this section, so we are going to have greater thans and less than symbols in here. And so let's look at the next case here. Let's deal with the absolute value of x now is greater than 4. Okay, now remember, there can be a positive value going inside the chamber or a negative value. Okay, now I like to list those, and there's the or. And now you've got x is greater than 4. That's pretty straightforward. Over here you've got negative x greater than 4. If you switch it around, you don't have to switch around, I'm sorry. Excuse me, again, tongue-tied here. You have to solve for a positive x, so you always multiply by a negative 1. I apologize about that. Negative 1, and therefore x is less than negative 4. Okay, look what happens when you graph these. X is less than negative 4 is over here. Here's negative 4. And you're not including it, so you put the parentheses, and you're going to the left, going towards negative infinity. Over here, x is greater than 4. Parentheses going to the right. And you've got the gull wings on there. Okay, that's how you would graph that. Okay, now the word or is that both solutions for the inequalities have to be included. Okay, now let's go look at objective 3, and let's focus just a little bit here on what happens if you have absolute value of x is, in this case now we're going to have it less than 4. Okay, so same thing, you must take care of 2 cases. You can have a positive value going into the chamber, less than 4, but this time you're going to see the word and, because we're going to have an overlap. We're going to have the intersection here. And you have the negative value of x less than 4. Okay, now this turns out to be x is less than 4. That's pretty straightforward, but watch what happens here with the sign. You got a negative x. You need to multiply or divide by negative 1 on both sides to solve for a positive x. Always got to have a positive x. So then what happens, class, whenever you multiply or divide by a negative sign, hopefully the words warning, warning, danger, Real Robinson, you know my story, the big robot's telling you to do what? Flip the sign, inequality sign. X is greater than negative 4. Okay, now where is the region that satisfies both these conditions? X is greater than, x is less than 4 is over here, and you're going towards negative infinity. This guy, x is greater than negative 4, you're down here, and you're going this way. And now you want to find where's the region, where's the intersection that satisfies both these conditions. Answer, between negative 4 and 4. Okay, so what we've just done here on this page, I guess summarize here, is to solve absolute value problems, isolate the absolute value on the left hand side. There's 3 cases. You have the equal sign, you've got the greater than or the less thans, and those are either the or the and you're going to have a wing graph or you're going to have an overlap graph. Okay, so try to burn that in your head, maybe a little memorization there that helps make things just a little easier. Just remember, if you've got greater than, it's the or. You have to combine both solutions. When you have less than, you're gonna have the and it's the overlap. Okay, so one last final. Remember, I have down here note expressions inside the absolute value chamber can be a positive or a negative. Okay, hey, Mr. McHugh, that's it for page 1. I will see you for page 2. Okay, bye.